my song. Let's sing it. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Come on, it's gonna be fucking awesome. You know the words. It's gonna be fucking awesome. That's insane. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Yeah!
Hey, it's Comic Book Day. That's right, Wednesdays is when the new comics hit the stands at comic book stores, and it's no different here at Coolest Alive. I'm your host, Jesse Blaze Snider, professional comic book journeyman writer who's worked for every major publisher in comics, including Marvel, DC, Image, and more. Over the past 3 decades, I've studied the greatest comic books ever made to improve my personal craft as a writer, and now I open the door of my memory to you so that you may benefit from the storehouse of greatness that I have read throughout my life. I love this art form. It's the single greatest there is. And today, we are going to celebrate the fuck out of it. But Monday, we were listening to the original Blues Brothers soundtrack. Yes, like one of the greatest collections of rhythm and blues ever, and like so many bands to get you into and stuff. What a great, like, just album to make you love music and get you into a lot more music all at once. If you love music, check that out, as well as my other podcast, the third podcast, All Your Favorite Bands Suck. It's now monthly. I just did a new episode finally with Grandson. We've got like 53 of my absolute favorite bands of all time. And if you love music, you should check that out. Oh, and that's available everywhere but Spotify right now, but we're going to be coming back to Spotify, but I don't want to tell people to go there until we're back. Yesterday, we were celebrating the best in animation with Hulk Versus, which is just super cool. Flew under the radar for a lot of people. 2 short animated mini features. They're like 45 minutes each, but they're awesome. Hulk versus Wolverine, Hulk versus Thor, tons of great guest appearances. Really, really awesome. We talked about that yesterday. And today, obviously, we're talking about comics, but tomorrow we're gonna talk about Antler. The Wendigo movie. Yeah. Or is it a Skinwalker? I keep dyslexiaing that. Whatever. I'm pretty sure I wrote down which one it was. So they're not supposed to have antlers too, I don't think. Whatever. This is what happens when there's like 2 kind of in my mind that become similar things and I just confuse them all the time. But that's Thursday, tomorrow. And then... Is it tomorrow? Are we that far along in the week already? Oh my goodness. Time flies. And then Friday, live, it's a book for the Wild Card. And a really great book, one of my favorites, written by William Goldman. It's called The Marathon Man. And they made a movie about it as well, which is not quite as good as the great book. And its sequel, which is good too, Brothers. And we'll be talking about that on Friday. Okay, Friday. Anyway, this Saturday, I'm going to be talking about fucking the new Muppet Show with Sabrina Carpenter. Me and my children watched it this past weekend, and it was really good. It was really good, and they're finally finding their footing. It's nice to see. I'm sure that Jim Henson is in heaven, smiling down, glad that they're getting somewhere close to his greatness. If you need me, reach out to me at jbs@blacklightdistrict.studio. That's my company. We make awesome comic books and music. You can read and listen to King of Kings #1, case in point, and you can hear the award-winning promotional single, Fight to the Death, featuring lead vocals by, that's right, D. fucking Snider. Or go check out one of our other fucking awesome comic books and music projects now at blacklightdistrict.studio. Okay, we're finally getting there. I promise. We're going to talk about my favorite art form, comic books, but I must delay the game just one more time to say I fucking love you. Thank you so much for listening to our show and making it the incredible, thing that it's becoming, this wonderful platform for me to be able to communicate with you guys and share in this monoculture together and build my platform for making music and making comics and all these things. So thank you guys for giving me all that, and I feel very grateful to our audience, and especially when you guys write me. You guys are always just so cool. So thank you. You guys rule my school. Now let's crack open this here is a comic book. Green Lantern Rebirth is a favorite of mine. There are, in any great storytelling where it like goes on forever, so often there'll be a situation where there's the opening, and the opening's gotcha, and you love it, and it goes from there, and there are bits that are maybe not as good as how it started, but there are bits that are on par with as good as the opening were, and then there's bits where it gets, you're so invested, you're so far along that it just like it's so rich, and it's rich because of the earliest bits that are still being milked for all they're worth in the best way. And that's how I feel about Green Lantern Rebirth here. This is one of my absolute favorites. But at the same time, I probably have a whole bunch of other pinnacles within this particular run by this writer. He works with this artist, Ethan Van Sciver, a few times within here, but most of the art is done by, well, let's see, you get a little bit of Carlos Pacheco, I think, at the beginning of some of the stuff, and then eventually you get Ivan Rice. There's a lot of different artists who show up during this time. Maybe I'm getting it backwards. No, I don't think I'm getting it backwards. Anyway, sorry, I wasn't thinking about talking too deeply into the further run of this thing. But there are things that like are even better. But what I'm saying is, before I recommend those things, I want to start here, because this is just the beginning of this stuff. And I'll probably kind of cherry pick some of the most glorious moments of this whole thing to recommend over time. I mean, like, I'll come back and I'll recommend some more of Geoff Johns' Green Lantern run in some of the best bits. Because, like, what inspired me to come talk about it today was one of the things that I had written down that I wanted to talk about eventually was Green Lantern's Sinestro Corps War. And that is great. And, a pinnacle within a lot of pinnacles within this Green Lantern run. There's really a lot of just glorious stuff, even like side stuff, in the best runs by various people, it elevates all of the work of all the people on the sides, because they're all working from really great ideas. And the Green Lantern Corps during this time, and so many different little spin-off books and stuff that they did, were all glorious, man. I mean, just great stuff. If you want to just take my word for it and go get an omnibus or something, if you'd like that. Those heavy books I can't do. I kind of got to do like a segment at a time myself. But if you would want to do that, you would not be getting steered wrong at all. It's so great. And essentially, it all starts here. And this came out 6 issues at the end of 2004 to the beginning of 2005. And a collected edition in 2005. They had gotten pretty quick at that. This is from DC Comics, obviously, for those of you who aren't in the know, though. Some of you don't know comics. This is one of the DC characters. Green Lantern is one of the pinnacles for DC. And this is written by one of their best writers, Geoff Johns, and this is some of his greatest work. The artist here is one of what used to be one of their greatest artists, doesn't work with them at all anymore, but Ethan Van Sciver. Incredible stuff, inked by Prentice Rollins, really just beautiful, and also colored by Moose Bauman. So it was a major sales hit. The first issue sold 156,000 copies, had multiple printings, subsequent issues. I mean, this was the long-awaited return of Hal Jordan. And for some people, that was a big deal. They did this later with Wally West, with Barry Allen, and it was not as successful because not as many people really wanted to see Barry return, because most people had fallen in love with Wally, and so much of Wally's whole thing really hinged on Barry being dead, and so much of the DC Universe's lore and the Crisis on Infinite Earths hinged on Barry being dead. But here, there was sort of always room for more Green Lanterns, and I think that just played to the audience's happy acceptance of this, because there were still ways to get stories told about characters like Kyle Rayner, who had become a favorite of mine as well. and even though the new main Green Lantern was Hal, Kyle was now in Green Lantern Corps, and they were doing interesting things with him. And his stories didn't end, and because of the greatness of everything else that was going on, a lot of great stories got to be told with Kyle. So there was a great thing that went on where the opposite happened with. When Barry Allen shows up in the Flash Rebirth, and now Wally West becomes downgraded to sort of like a secondary Flash character, there was that character really he disintegrated. He didn't have anything like to do that was really true to the character. There was multiple storylines where they really misused him, and I won't even bring them up. But in this case, all of a sudden, the pool, the success of the book and more eyes on it, and they added a thing of these Green Lanterns having partners. They're being cops, they're space cops. A space cop has a partner. It should be two guys showing up to do this thing, and this is where this came into play. And that was interesting because now Hal Jordan was back, and there was a pool already of 3 beloved Green Lanterns, all liked for different reasons. You had the original Green Lantern, the original Green Lantern is actually the Sentinel, the Alan Scott Green Lantern, who shows up in JSA. But his origins are not tied to the modern vision of the Green Lantern Corps and the Blue Aliens and all that shit. He has a different sort of explanation for him or whatever. So that Green Lantern is separate, the Hal Jordan Green Lantern, and he's the first of the Green Lanterns like this. But the ones who came after him in the Green Lanterns like this thing include John Stewart. And actually, I'm not sure who came first before John Stewart or Guy Gardner. But John Stewart, the black guy with the military background, and Guy Gardner, who's the redhead, who's a bit of a dick, who shows up in like Justice League International. And John Stewart's the Green Lantern who shows up in the Justice League animation. I don't know why they didn't do the John Stewart Green Lantern in the films. It was a very stupid mistake to bring Cyborg in. All these things that they did were dumb. But that made 4 Green Lanterns. And that was interesting because basically they immediately dubbed one of the Green Lanterns Hal Jordan's partner, who was John Stewart, who was the character who a lot of fans were familiar with from the Justice League animated series, which was great and gave John a whole bunch to do in the main book all the time, a supporting character in the main book. And they had a relationship prior to that, so it was great. And then on the mission that basically Guy Gardner and Kyle Rayner, they get pulled into the larger Guardian galactic thing of like training people, and they start working with some of the fan favorite characters from deeper series in the mythology of the Green Lanterns, like Kilowog and stuff, and helping to train a new generation of Lanterns, and also going on different missions and stuff like that as sort of special agents for the Guardians. So this is great, right? Now all 4 characters are boiled into 2 books. All we need is Green Lantern Corps and Green Lantern to cover us getting to hear stories from Hal Jordan. So for Hal Jordan fans, you're in. For John Stewart fans, you're in the main Green Lantern book. And then if you want, there's Green Lantern Corps, which also has a lot of great additional supporting characters, not to mention a fan favorite Guy Gardner and what everybody was enjoying before, because there was a lot of fans of the Kyle Rayner Green Lantern like myself. He's got a book too, and it was great, really well written, great stories, great stuff, like just so much. It's really like just the best. This whole just all of the material is awesome. Dan DiDio was like the head editor at the time and ultimately responsible for so much of this stuff. So kudos to you there, buddy. And this just totally revitalized the franchise. Subsequent issues of the book sold upwards of $100,000 copies each, and launched Geoff Johns' incredible and long run on Green Lantern, which introduces eventually and starts to introduce here the key concepts of the emotional light spectrum that like governs the Green Lantern stuff, which I just think is really inspired and awesome and worth reading about, and just makes it more complex and more interesting, and there's just so many more things going on. he made Green Lantern, the book at DC for the longest time with increasing sales, which tends to be really difficult in fucking comic books in general. But the biggest thing with the whole book is that when Hal Jordan went out, he went out on a bad note. He went crazy and killed, he killed a lot of his friends, and he had to be brought down. And essentially, Geoff Johns exonerates him through revealing that he had been under a crazy sort of mind control that had overtaken him, and it's creates this fear entity that is in him, which they use in the movie in a very not awesome way, visually especially. In the film, in the comics, he's it's like this parasitic sort of visualization. It's interesting. There's a lot of really interesting things related to it and all these concepts, but they get introduced later on in the thing, so I won't talk about them or spoil them right now. But really completely reestablishes the Green Lantern Corps. It introduced the Sinestro Corps, and it seeds the War of Light buildup of all these crossing over, warring, light-powered beings. And it's just pivotal, the whole thing, for the modern DC continuity. And Johns and Van Sciver's partnership, who they also have recommended before, them doing Iron Heights. And they did a lot of great jumping off point books together. And this was one of them. Like I said, for fans of, there's a certain amount of continuity you won't know going in. And I had that too. I didn't necessarily know anything about Guy Gardner and his warrior phase. But I did know, let's say, that Hal Jordan had been the Spectre. They'd turned him into a JSA character called the Spectre. He wasn't on JSA mostly. But that's where Spectre's more known from being on the JSA these days. And it was interesting that making him the Spectre, he was repenting for what he had done. But basically, this whole thing exonerates him. And, not completely. And he doesn't exonerate himself. He feels a responsibility. But this whole thing basically picks up all of sort of the things that were abandoned years ago by DC because Green Lantern wasn't popular enough, and brings back all of the most popular aspects and characters that had died or went missing or whatever it was, to kind of just recapitulate the entire Green Lantern Corps into a universe that we might really genuinely want to dive into and read stories about. And oh boy, do they ever do that successfully. It's awesome. I mean, just one of the longest, most successful and enjoyable comic book runs that you will ever read if you decide to just dive into it. And at the very least, I do think you should stick your toe in with Green Lantern Rebirth. If you don't conspiracy with me every Sunday on my podcast, Everything They Don't Want You to Know, well, you should. Find out why we're creeping on 500,000 downloads a month and rising. It's because it's good. Plus, if you love music, you need to check out our third pod, All Your Favorite Bands Suck, available everywhere but Spotify, celebrating every genre of music and eventually all my favorite bands in the world. There's 53 bands so far and still a lot more to come. Anyway, that's it. You can go get out of here. I love you guys, but geez, you've gotten so clingy. It's JBS at BlacklightDistrict.studio if you need to reach out. Thank you all for listening to the end. I'll see you tomorrow. Celebrating one of the best films I've ever seen in recent years. But it's great. One of the best creature features. It is. Another fucking awesome episode of Coolest Alive tomorrow. See you then. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Coolest Alive with me, your host, Jesse Blaze Snider. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more excellent entertainment recommendations. Thanks for listening.
It's gonna be fucking awesome. Come on, it's gonna be fucking awesome. You know the words. It's gonna be fucking awesome. That's it, say. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Yeah! It's my favorite part! Isn't that heavy? awesome, making you shout. I'm a genius. I got lyrics coming out me bum for days. You like that? It's a kazoo solo. I played that too. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Talking some shit. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Living the shit. My voice gonna be fucking awesome. Food in our mouth. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Get in the mouth. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Tell all your friends. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Call right on text. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Raising the bar. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Straight to the stars. It's gonna be fucking awesome. It's starting soon. Straight to the top of the awesome. Passing the moon. It's gonna be fucking awesome. On with the show. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Ready, set, go. It's going to be fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Just wait. You'll see. You'll all see.
You'll all see.
The podcast playground.